We observed the amateur division tackle a series of 5 challenges, from hunt tests to field trials, culminating in the thrilling Hunt Savvy finale to witness the Super 6 and crown a champion. Now our focus shifts to the Open division as we embark on a new journey to crown the Open champion and wrap up the 2023 Super Retriever Series season. Welcome to the 2023 Super Retriever Series Crown Championship presented by Eukanuba. Hello everyone, I'm your host David Hamilton alongside our analyst and longtime SRS competitor Rody Best. Rody, now we're about to jump into the Open division, which is our professionals.
That's right, David. We get to see how the professionals handle these series.
Now, what's the difference between those who compete in our amateur division and in our Open division?
Well, essentially the way to think about it is a professional is someone who receives compensation for training a dog, and an amateur is someone who does not.
Now, they compete and do the same series, but they are graded separately, meaning we have separate leaderboards and crown different champions. We have over 50 competing in this year's Crown Championship in the Open division, but even just to get to this point was a lot of hard work and determination over the last 12 months. Tell us what it takes to qualify for the Crown Championship.
Well, these handler teams had to qualify at one of the regional events and then get enough points to be able to make it here.
There are 5 series, and we cut the field after the second. Tell everybody a little bit about how the rundown is going to take place from Series 1 all the way to us crowning a champion.
Well, everybody's going to play the first 2 series, and then after that they cut to 18, and then going into the 4th they cut to 12, and the 5th they cut to the Super 6.
Many of our amateurs may only come with 1, maybe 2 dogs that have qualified, but I know you qualified with 7, Clark Kennington with 9, Carter Turner with 8. So many of the professionals here in the Open division have multiple dogs. What's the advantage of that?
Well, you get to take a look at the test multiple times. You get, multiple shots or bullets at the game.
You also qualified alongside your son, so first father-son competitors there, so congratulations on that. Let's get into it though. Series 1, here is the test. Describe it for us, please.
Yeah, so what you're going to get is 2 marks. Bird 1 is going to come out from right to left, followed by bird 2, and you're going to know your dog off of these 2 marks and run a blind first through the trees and up past the test, come back and pick up the remaining 2 birds. This is not an easy test by any means, especially the blind.
Let's discuss the faults. Similar to golf, a lower score is better than a higher. Why do these judges give these teams points? What are they looking for, and what do they penalize them for?
Well, most of your points are going to be between 2 and 5, those being whistles, refusals, stuff like that. And then you get to your major point penalties, which are 10 and 20 being the big one that no handler wants to get, handling on a mark.
All right, well, without further ado, let's get into it. Here's Series 1.
The open field at the SRS Crown Championship featured 56 teams, each harboring the dream of seizing the crown by the end of this challenging 5-series competition. This AKC-style hunt test for Series 1 is designed to test the marking and memory of the retriever, and these judges set this test to do just that. Lee Howard and Lab's Once Upon a Time, Snow, a 7-year-old yellow Labrador retriever, took the line as the first team to run. Lee Howard brings 3 teams to the crown, and Snow will set the pace, not only for their own team, but for the entire field. Snow's outstanding performance surpassed all expectations and established the standard for the rest of the day and the rest of this series. Clark Kennington, a former SRS Crown Champion winner, alongside his esteemed champions Roscoe and Stroker, arrives at the crown this year with an impressive 9 retriever teammates, referred to as bullets by most handlers. Understanding that some teammates may outshine others, he reminds himself, take 1 series at a time, learn from every time you walk to that line, and take as many bullets to the next series. Carter Turner, a rookie at the crown, comes into this event with 8 retrievers. He's made quite the impression, dominating the circuit this year with several wins. Not only did he secure first place with Shooter in the prestigious Eukanuba Team of the Year race, but he also clinched 2nd and 3rd places as well with Cappy and Zeus. With such a strong field of dogs to bring to the line, any progress will be welcome. Carter and Plain Old Joe, or Joe, would score the best of his 8 teammates in Series 1. Carter's limitless excitement for Joe echoes the passion of a dedicated sideline coach. Lyle Steinman, no stranger to the Crown Championship, has been here 17 times and has taken the Crown Championship title 7 of those. Having 5 retriever teammates to bring to the line, he brings who he calls one of the loves of his life, Bayou Star Air Stepper. We know her as Jordan. Jordan is 9 years old, a black lab, and Lyle's pinpoint marker. Jordan recovered well on both of the difficult marks in Series 1, and her age and experience came in handy, putting this team in the middle of the pack. Brody Best, at Louisiana's bewitched bullet known as Bully, excitedly approached the starting line. Brody's field of 7 teammates, all very talented, each with their own strengths, and Brody believes he can guide one of his dogs to the finals. Bully, a consistent performer, has an unwavering desire to work. Recognizing this, Brody has invested time this year in nurturing a deeper personal connection with him. Multiple open teams arrived at this championship with just 1 or 2 teams, affording them only that opportunity at the line. It's a level playing field for all these teams on any given Sunday, whether they boast 9 teams or just a single bullet of a chance. With the caliber of each of these retrievers, every team has a shot at victory.
Only the best of the best make it to the Crown, but to be a Crown champion, you have to elevate your game even more. When we come back, we'll get into Series 2. The Super Retriever Series Crown Championship is presented by Eukanuba, fueling canine athletes for over 50 years. Shreveport Bossier Sports Commission. Visit Shreveport Bossier. And Louisiana Tourism. Explore Louisiana. Welcome back to the 2023 Super Retriever Series Crown Championship presented by Eukanuba. We're here in Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana, and Rhodey, they're always such great hosts to us. There's a lot to do here. What was your favorite part of the week?
I really enjoyed going to that hockey game, the Shreveport Mudbugs.
What a great name for a sports team. There really is a lot of exciting things to do here, and it's a city full of rich history. But let's get back to the dogs. We had a very exciting Series 1, more than 50 competitors, and now we're about to enter Series 2, but let's take a quick look here. After Series 1, Snow and Lee Howard lead the way with a very impressive score of 14 in the first series, but Carter Turner and Joe and Leo Joseph III and Gus not far behind them. Now some familiar names, Stephen Durrance, Justin Hergert, Clark Kennington. Right there in the middle of it, you can also see my co-host here, Brody Best, and his son Dakota Best, also posting nice scores there in the first series. Bobby Wills and Legend with a 79. Lyle Steinman and Jordan, they're competitors that have been around for a while, also there. So big scoreboard here, as we said, over 50 competitors in Series 1. They'll all run again in Series 2. And speaking of Series 2, Brody, tell us a little bit about this test.
Well, Series 2 is a field trial series, so we're going to go a lot longer here. There's going to be 3 marks, one at the upper left corner, one at the upper right corner, and then a go-bird on the left. It's going to be a lot of running, a lot of opportunity for dogs to do well or do very bad.
In this open field trial, what are the judges going to be looking for?
Mainly marking and memory on this test. The dog's got to be able to mark the fall of the bird, go get it, and not have to be handled to it.
All right, well, without further ado, let's get into it.
Series 2 is a field trial, and Mark 1 comes out from right to left, and it's a flasher thrown at the edge of the tree line, followed by Mark 2 thrown from left to right, also thrown on the edge of the tree line. And then the last bird, the designated go bird, is a mallard, a simulated flyer, and you can see the distances there. That big key bird up in the upper left corner, 261 yards, that's going to separate the boys from the men.
Beautiful aerial shot there from the drone showing you an overview of this test. It's going to be a challenge. Let's get into it and see how these teams fared.
As Series 2 commenced, all 56 teams returned to the line, and early up, Luke Coor, the 2019 Crown Champion alongside Bang, now arrives with the Say Hey kid called Maze. Leading the pack among her 7 teammates, Maze exudes a playful and endearing demeanor off the field. However, when it comes to the game, her true prowess lies in her speed and relentless drive. Excelling particularly in long runs, the question remains whether this strength will propel her forward in the competition. Steven Durant's a four-time Crown champion with Dude, Georgia, and Mason, has been a fixture in the SRS Crown Championship since 2009, qualifying every year. This year, he brings 4 teams to the Crown Championship. Steve understands the recipe for success, a seasoned dog that delivers consistency. He approaches this competition with a holistic mindset, recognizing that each of his retrievers is not just a standalone team, but rather an indispensable part of a cohesive unit. Bobby Wills, the 2010 Crown champion and the longest-running handler in the SRS circuit, steps up with Abby's Blaze of Glory. Legend, one of his 3 teammates. Legend, Bobby's exceptional marking dog, exhibits a deep passion for his work. Bobby trusts that Legend will consistently give his best effort, steadily and surely, in every single endeavor. Every single bullet that the pro field takes up to the line has one singular goal: securing a spot in the quarterfinal round of Series 3.
Well, as we anticipated, that was a tough and challenging series for these dog and handler teams. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Carter, Turner, and Cappy now lead us after 2 series with a score of 47. Carter Turner's also in second with his dog Shooter. Justin Hergert and Chief are in third. Steven Durantz and Jack in fourth. When we come back, we'll continue with our 3rd series quarterfinal round.
Had a good score here, and the field trial series didn't have a great score in the hunt test. They're more of a field trial dog, and so that's just kind of the part of this game. You think that one's gonna be better than the other, but because you see each of every different venue, they're gonna hit your weakness on some point.
Welcome back to the 2023 Super Retriever Series Crown Championship presented by Eukanuba. Rody, we had more than 50 dogs compete in Series 1 and Series 2. We've now cut the field to 18 competitors. These are now starting to feel the pressure as we move a little bit further in the Crown Championship.
That's right. Just like in the amateur division, the pressure is on to make the next cut, and every single dog and handler team are feeling it.
Every one of these tests challenges these dog and handler teams. Series 3 was no exception. Talk to us about what Series 3 entailed.
And Series 3 is more about control. The dog and the handler arrive to the setup, and you put the dog on the mat. The handler separates himself, leaves the dog on the mat, goes over to a gun stand and loads 2 shells. The dog must remain on the mat while the next 2 marks come out. Mark 1 is going to come out from left to right at 77 yards, and it's a flasher thrown on the shoreline. A temptation for a dog. Only the first though. Mark 2 comes out, another temptation, this time landing on the point as well. But you cannot pick those birds up. Those are poison birds. You must first run a blind, 2 blinds actually. Blind 1 on the left at 212 yards through the shed there you see, and then the hardest and most difficult, 183 yards, blind number 2.
There's a deep poison bird. That definitely looks like it could cause some problems for these teams. Let's take a look and see how they handled it.
Having witnessed the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat in the amateur field during Series 3, we now eagerly await the open division. Perched on the edge of our seats, we anticipate which teams will rise to the challenge that these judges have put together. Leo Joseph entered the Crown Championship with 2 dogs, but now only Luciana's Rock of Ages, 7 years of age, better known as Gus, remains for the challenge. At the kennels, Gus is adored by everyone and craves affection. But now it's time for him to focus on the work. From the remote start, Gus encounters some faults with Leo. However, he begins to work well and flawlessly picks up the blind through and under the shed. Unfortunately, Gus struggles when he gets to the poison bird, prompting Leo to make the tough decision and to call it quits for this team. The gallery remains on the edge of their seats as they focus on watching each dog take their turn, tackling the poison bird and getting on the point.
I like that comment. Regroup.
Tell you what though, he's not done yet. Oof, he needed that stop.
Tough break there for Lee Howell. Snow. Dang.
Got going, man.
Just thinking.
I think he smelled that other poison bird and decided to I think he smelled that short poison bird and then he decided the water was the better choice.
I think you're probably right.
But if he smelled that there, he's definitely
What's he
going
gonna
to
smell here?
for this one here.
Well, hopefully he makes the same decision he made the
He's out a
first
little
time.
wide. So you tuck him in early so you can reestablish right momentum. I guess the dog made that decision for him, but he's not going there because he's trying to get on line. He's going there to get to land or the poison bird. So you got to change that attitude right away.
Gotta get that
Looks like
there
he's
you
going
go.
to angle it. When do you blow here?
Up now.
Great spot.
Ooh, see him look over at the poison bird?
Got him off. Get on that point now,
Now you got to
Jack.
get the
Now
point.
he's got to get dry. He's going to have
Go
to cast
with the
him.
left here. I'll tell you what. Oh my goodness.
Man.
I'll tell you what, guys. He didn't make any mistakes. He just, the dog just
Just smelled that bird and couldn't resist.
Justin Hergert entered the crown with 5 teams, but only 2 remain as they enter the 3rd series. Chiefs Rumble on the Delta steps up to the line, poised for the challenge ahead. Unfortunately, Chief incurs a fault by missing the corridor through the shed. Now the question lingers, will he overcome the obstacle of the poison bird?
all right, he's going to get it. Now, is he going to get... Oh, come on, baby, come on. Oh, got a good stop. Look at that.
You hear a collective groan from the gallery to our right.
I think everybody's on their toes right now.
I can't see it.
Yes, he sees
Got a
him.
very fortunate turn.
For some, the agony of defeat weighs heavily, while others are rewarded by the thrill of victory. Nevertheless, reaching this point alone at the SRS Crown Championship is an achievement to be proud of at the end of the day.
Rody, the gallery wasn't the only ones on the edge of their seat. Even you and I were kind of leaning forward watching that recap there. That was definitely a challenging test as we cut the field from 18 to 12. Let's take a look here at the leaderboard showing the 12 dog and handler teams that'll move on to Series 4, and we'll watch that when we come back.
As soon as I take the leash off and come out the holding blind, I know it's all business from there, and I try not to think about it. Don't think about the nerves and go ahead and know the game plan I got going in and prepare myself for what happens if the game plan don't work and break down the steps and know I got to do my part for the dog to be successful.
The Super Retriever Series Crown Championship is presented by Eukanuba, fueling canine athletes for over 50 years, Thor Boats, Lucky Duck Kennels, Splash Super Pools, and the United Kennel Club. Welcome back to the 2023 Super Retriever Series Crown Championship presented by Eukanuba. It's time now for our semifinals. We enter with 12 dogs, and at the end of this series, we'll have our Super 6 that will compete in the finals for a Crown Championship. But first, let's take a look at our scoreboard. These are the 12 dogs competing here in the semifinals. Series 4, Rody, you were one of the competitors at this point in the game, so you're very familiar with what the judges were looking for. Talk our viewers through this test.
Well, the 4th series is a hybrid, so we're going to have one big long field trial mark followed by 2 shorter marks, Mark 2 at 132 and Mark 3 at 130 yards. Pick them up.
12 open teams. Watch each other intently as each team comes to the line. Carter Turner, still with 4 of his 9 teams, brings Seaside Straight Shooter, better known as Shooter, to the line in 7th position. The 2023 Eukanuba Team of the Year is no stranger to the SRS Crown, placing 2nd and 5th in past Crown Championships. At 9 years of age, could this be his year to win? While Steinman and Lone Stars batten down the hatches, are ready to take on the challenge. In 3rd place, Hatch represents Lyle's final shot, and he's determined to go the distance and secure a spot in the final round. With flawless handling, Lyle avoids any faults, making this run a promising opportunity to advance to the finals. The teams maintain their strong performance on this test, each taking note of the runs before them. Holding 2nd place is Chuck McCall and Fergie's Full Flavor, also known as Winston. Their turn to the line is in hopes that their score secures a spot in the next series. Knowing Winston's versatility in the Super Retriever Series, Chuck relies on his intelligence to navigate through the challenge of the Go Bird. Will Winston's performance be enough to make the cut?
Unfortunately for Chuck and Winston, they did not make the cut, but 6 others did, and they'll be moving on to the finals, including Carter Turner with 3 different dogs, Bobby Wills, Lyle Steinman, and Justin Hergert. So 6 quality teams heading in to the finals. I'm excited. I hope you are too, Rody.
Yeah, I sure am, and this is going to be a treat to watch.
Absolutely, and we'll get to that next week here on the Super Retriever Series Crown Championship. For Rody Best, I'm David Hamilton. Thanks for tuning in.